I didn't remember falling asleep. One second I was driving home late, fighting exhaustion, telling myself I'd pull over after the next exit. The next second, I was sitting upright in a train seat, my head snapping forward as if I'd been jolted awake by a sudden stop. But the train was moving, fast. The carriage lights flickered overhead, casting a sickly yellow glow on rows of empty seats. The windows showed nothing but darkness. No tunnels, no stations, no passing lights. Just black, endless and thick, like the train was cutting through something solid. My phone was in my hand, no signal, no time. Just a cracked screen reflecting my own face, pale and confused. That's when I noticed the silence. No engine hum, no clacking of wheels on tracks, no wind. The train moved without making a sound. Across the aisle, someone was sitting, an old woman, gray hair pinned neatly back, hands folded in her lap. She stared straight ahead, eyes open but unfocused, like she was watching a memory instead of the world. "Excuse me," I said. She didn't react. I stood, my legs shaky, and stepped into the aisle. The floor felt cold through my shoes, colder than metal should be. I walked closer and waved a hand in front of her face. Nothing. Her skin looked wrong, too still, too smooth, like wax left out in the sun. A sudden voice crackled over the intercom. "Next stop approaching." The voice was calm, flat, not human. The train began to slow, though I still couldn't hear it. The darkness outside the windows thinned, revealing a platform lit by dim, buzzing lights. A sign hung crooked above it. "Last stop." The doors slid open. People stood on the platform, dozens of them, all facing the train, all perfectly still. As the doors opened, they stepped forward in unison and boarded. They filled the seats silently. A man with a crushed chest, a woman with burned scars up her arms and neck, a teenage boy whose head lolled at an unnatural angle. Every single one of them looked dead. Panic surged through me. I rushed to the doors, but they slid shut with a final hiss. The train lurched forward again. A man across from me slowly turned his head. "You're awake," he said. His voice sounded distant, like it was traveling through water. "What is this place?" I demanded. "Where are we going?" He studied me with dull curiosity. "You're not supposed to be conscious yet." My heart pounded. "Yet?" The intercom crackled again. "Reminder to passengers, remain seated until your destination." "I don't belong here," I said. "I'm alive." The man tilted his head. "Are you?" Before I could answer, memories slammed into me. Headlights, a horn blaring, the sudden weightlessness, the sound of metal folding in on itself. I staggered back, clutching my chest. "No," I whispered. "No, no, no." The man's expression softened, not with kindness, but with understanding. "Some of us wake up early," he said. "It doesn't change the outcome." I ran through the carriage, searching for an exit. Another door. Anything. Every car was the same. Endless rows of dead passengers sitting patiently, quietly. At the very front of the train, I found the conductor. It wasn't human. It was tall and thin, its body wrapped in a dark uniform that seemed stitched directly onto its form. Its face was a blur, like it refused to settle into one shape. "You're on the wrong train," I said, breathless. It turned toward me slowly. "There is no wrong train," it replied. "Only early arrivals." "I can go back," I insisted. "I'm not done. I didn't say goodbye." The conductor leaned closer. "Everyone says that." The lights dimmed. The train slowed once more. Through the windows, I saw a familiar place. The roadside, my car, twisted metal, flashing red and blue lights. Paramedics stood over a body on a stretcher. My body. The doors opened. "This is your stop," the conductor said. I backed away. "No." The floor beneath me shifted. Hands reached out from the seats, cold fingers gripping my arms, my clothes, my skin. Not aggressive, not cruel, guiding. "I woke up on the train," I screamed. "I shouldn't be here." The man from earlier met my eyes as I was dragged toward the door. "You'll fall asleep soon," he said gently. "It won't hurt after that." As I crossed the threshold, the world blurred. I woke up in a hospital bed, gasping for air. Machines beeped, nurses shouted, pain exploded through my chest. I survived. They said I was lucky, but sometimes late at night, when the ward is quiet and the lights flicker, I hear it. No horn, no wheels, just a silent train passing by. And I know, next time I won't wake up early. I thought waking up in the hospital meant it was over. That's what everyone else believed. They kept me for 3 days. Monitors, tests, questions I answered on autopilot. The doctors said my heart had stopped for almost a full minute at the scene of the crash. 1 minute is a long time, one of them said quietly. I didn't tell them about the train. I didn't tell them about the conductor. I didn't tell them that every time I closed my eyes, I felt movement, smooth, silent movement, like I was still traveling. The first night back home, I slept with the lights on. At exactly 2:11 a.m., I woke up sitting upright. My bedroom was silent, too silent. Then I felt it, that same cold pressure beneath me. The bed wasn't moving, but I was. A low voice whispered from somewhere far away, layered over itself like an echo. Remain seated. My heart raced. I grabbed my phone. Still no signal. The clock on the screen flickered, then went black. I smelled metal, oil, old air. I wasn't in my bedroom anymore. I was back on the train. Same seat, same flickering lights, same endless darkness outside the windows. But this time the carriage was almost empty. Only a few passengers sat scattered around me. Some stared ahead. Others stared directly at me, their eyes sharp now, awake. You came back, a woman said from across the aisle. I survived, I replied. This shouldn't be happening. She smiled sadly. Survival isn't the same as escape. The intercom crackled. Delayed passengers will be returned to their seats. Returned. The train slowed. Outside the window, I saw something new. Not a platform. A hospital hallway. My hallway. I saw myself lying in bed, chest rising and falling, machines humming softly beside me. I was still there. So what am I now? I asked. The woman stood. She leaned close enough that I could see the cracks in her skin, like porcelain under strain. You're between stops, she said, and the train doesn't like loose ends. The lights dimmed. Footsteps echoed through the carriage. Heavy, measured. The conductor was coming. I ran, not toward the doors, but away from them, deeper into the train, past cars that shouldn't exist, past seats that were empty but warm, like someone had just stood up. At the very last car, I found a door I hadn't seen before. It wasn't marked. It wasn't locked. I opened it and fell back into my body. I woke up screaming in my bed, drenched in sweat, heart hammering like it was trying to break free. Morning came. I was alive, but I knew the truth now. I hadn't escaped the train. I'd only been given time. And somewhere in the dark, on silent tracks that don't exist on any map, the conductor was waiting for me to fall asleep again. I stopped sleeping. Not because I wanted to, because every time I did, the train found me. Coffee, energy drinks, cold showers at 3 a.m. I learned how long a human body could stay awake before reality started to bend at the edges. On the fourth night, I failed. I drifted off for seconds. That was enough. I woke up standing in the aisle this time. The train was moving faster than before. The lights pulsed like a dying heartbeat. More passengers filled the seats now, their faces clearer, their eyes open, watching me. You're late, someone muttered as I stumbled past. I'm early, another replied. The intercom crackled, distorted with static. Awake passengers must return to assigned positions. I ran. I pushed through doors that led to more doors, each carriage colder than the last. Frost crept along the windows. The darkness outside pressed closer, like it was leaning in to listen. I reached a car with no seats, just doors, hundreds of them. Each door had a name scratched into the metal. I found mine. It was still fresh. Before I could touch it, a voice spoke behind me. You don't want to open that yet. The conductor stood there, taller than I remembered. Its shape jittered, like it couldn't decide how many limbs it needed. What happens when I do? I asked. It tilted its head. You arrive. The doors around us began to rattle, knocking from the inside, soft at first, then desperate. Those are the ones who tried to leave early. the conductor said calmly. They forgot where they were going. The intercom screamed, "Return to your seats!" The train shook violently. I slammed my door open. Inside, I saw memories that weren't mine. People dying alone, hospital rooms, car wrecks, quiet overdoses, final thoughts looping on repeat. At the center of it all was a seat, empty, waiting. Cold hands grabbed my shoulders. The passengers were pulling me back. "You can't choose when," someone hissed in my ear. "The train chooses for you." I fought them, clawing at the doorway. Then everything snapped. I woke up on my bedroom floor, gasping, nails bleeding. Morning light spilled through the window. I was alive. But on my forearm, burned into my skin, were 4 words. Next stop.